We have had Brian Howell on this show before, and most recently during all of what was going on in July with USC, UCLA, and the Big Ten. Colorado Buffalo's beat writer for Buff Zone and also the Boulder Daily Camera joins us on 365 Sports. Brian, what's it like to all of a sudden have a media typhoon land right in your lap?
Well, it's been quite a 48 hours, I'll tell you that. I mean, it's been crazy. You know, it was that press conference yesterday was unlike anything I've ever seen. You literally, I'm sitting there like there's a bona fide celebrity that's here now coaching the University of Colorado, and it's a little bit surreal.
Brian, was there a point when Deion Sanders' name got floated for that job where you were like, no, even you who's covered it for a long time, like that's fine and all, but, you know, let's get to the real candidates?
Yeah, pretty much the whole time. From the time he started being mentioned as a candidate, I mean, I kind of laughed at people that got excited about it. I'm like, come on, he's not coming to Colorado. And a big reason for that was because I thought, you know, at that point he's blowing up 60 Minutes, is doing stuff with them. He's on Game Day, all this stuff. And, you know, and my thought was he's going to have Power 5 programs all over him. And there's no way he's taking Colorado over these other schools. And, you know, I used to tell people the only way he's coming to Colorado is if this is his only Power 5 offer. And I think it turns out that it was. And I think that's why he ended up here. Surprisingly, I don't think CU had much competition. And so opportunity resulted in him coming here.
How would you describe just sort of the general reception from, you know, readers and fans and media alike? What has been sort of the response here over the last day or so?
They're beside themselves. I mean, they can't believe what's happening right now. And, you know, I haven't, it's been a while since I've covered the Broncos, but there was one of the Broncos reporters was at the press conference the other day, and I asked him, I said, how does this compare to when Russell Wilson was traded to the Broncos earlier this year? And it's pretty much the same. You know, maybe this is even more than that. And, you know, Russell Wilson coming to the Broncos after their horrible quarterback play for years was huge. And it's the same thing here. CU has been so down football-wise for so many years that to have a guy come in and have this kind of bravado, and all of a sudden you put Colorado on the map, unlike any other candidate probably could have.
Brian, now the question is, he made it clear to everybody that was on that team, and they probably needed some truth serum, almost like a version of Scared Straight in an opening meeting with Deion. What do you expect? How much can they cultivate and compile talent in such a short amount of time?
I think they can do a lot. I mean, the portal is going crazy today, and I mean we're already seeing top recruits in the country that are, you know, tweeting out they've got an offer from Colorado, and you know I think he's going to make a huge difference. And you know these players, they did need that. It's crazy because for the last 2 months after Carl Zarell was fired, you know, everybody knew this team wasn't very good, but the whole message was, we're making football fun again. We just want to love up these players. And they got all that from the interim coaching staff. Then all of a sudden, Deion comes in and says, hey, hit the portal. Because I'm cleaning the house here. You guys are, you know, if you don't want to be here, get out of here because I'm bringing people. And, you know, give an example, Caden Proctor, who's committed to Iowa, you know, one of the top 10 prospects in the country, 5-star lineman, tweeted out today he's got an offer from Colorado. You know, and these are guys that Deion's going after. I think it's going to be massive turnover on the roster.
The staff, he's talked about Willie Taggart apparently going to be on that staff, maybe even Tim Brewster. Who do you know for sure that's coming with him?
Well, no, they haven't announced anybody yet, but, you know, it's funny because in that video of the team meeting yesterday, and, you know, Deion has cameras everywhere, so they post it all out there. He introduced 2 of his Jackson State assistants to the Buffs. So Andre Hart and Kevin Mathis are 2 assistants that have been at Jackson State with him. They were previously at Trinity Christian School in Cedar Hill with him, and they were both, you know, there yesterday in the team meeting, and Deion introduced them. So I do expect Tim Brewster to be there. You know, he was obviously with Deion this year at Jackson State, but also interestingly, Tim Brewster was a college teammate of CU athletic director Rick George at Illinois, and also worked at the Broncos years ago. So I think that one probably happens, and then it looks like Willie Taggart. I just saw it as we were getting on the phone here, but it looks like Willie Taggart might be a part of it. So it's going to be an interesting staff as he puts it together.
No one has more connections than Tim Brewster in college football. I'm convinced, man. That guy's been everywhere, knows everybody. One of the other things that Deion mentioned was the whole luggage piece, that he's bringing his luggage with him. He basically confirmed that Shedeur, his son's going to be, joining him, and mentioned 10 other Jackson State players. And I'm sure you saw the live stream reaction from former 5-star Travis Hunter, who said he's on his way as well. Just how much excitement is there over, some of those additions he might be bringing, and how much do you expect he'll be bringing over from Jackson State?
Yeah, I mean, same thing as before. I mean, this fan base is just, they're beside themselves with the possibilities here, and I'm not sure we fully understand the impact that he's going to have here. But last year CU was burned so bad in the portal; they lost 20-some guys, and a lot of it was trying to weed out some guys who weren't playing, but you had 5 or 6 players that really hurt when they left, and that's been the fear for the last 2 months, is that CU is going to lose, is to have this exodus of players again. I don't think people care now. It's like, fine, get them out there, because Deion's going to bring in a whole bunch of other guys, and so I don't know how many from Jackson State, but it does look like maybe Hunter, his other son Shiloh is a starting safety for Jackson State. I imagine he comes as well. So, maybe 10, 12 players from Jackson State. I would imagine 25, 30 transfers overall come here.
How many questions did you field or see about when Deion starts talking about who's coming and was, oh my God, is he already breaking an NCAA rule?
That was my initial thought when, during the press conference, he had Shedeur stand up and he said, that's your quarterback. I'm thinking, wait a minute. He is literally right now a Jackson State student and getting ready to play another game at Jackson State. And you just said he's coming here. But I imagine him being his father makes that not a violation. I don't know. But my initial thought was, did he just commit a violation there? Because I thought that was kind of interesting. But, they'll figure out a way around it, I'm sure.
What did you make of if there was any negative, I felt like, too, and it wasn't like super negative or anything, but if there's any sort of like, over this whole thing, it was Rick George's comments about the money and like, we'll find it or whatever. Like, we don't have the money yet, but we'll get it. How did you take that?
I didn't take it as like a desperation thing like a lot of fans did.
Yeah.
I thought, the way he said it, he was kind of joking. Like, it's true, but I don't remember which national writer, replied to my tweet that I had that. And he said, actually, this happens all the time where they'll get it from boosters and things like that. So, this national guy said it wasn't that big of a deal, but Rick said it kind of jokingly. This is the type of guy that you hire as a head coach, and that things are coming in, right? It's sort of like the first round pick in the NBA that goes out and buys the car before he has the money yet.
Right.
Well, the money's coming, right? They know stuff's coming in. And so, Colorado will be fine. And, they've got money. They'll get money. And so I think they'll be okay.
In addition to the NIL money, how about facilities and things that need to be upgraded there so that he, look, as great as Deion is, one of the reasons you leave Jackson State is because it's going to take a longer time to get the facilities and upgrade those things there that you need. What about facilities at Colorado and him getting what he wants on that end?
Well, the facilities are top notch here. They upgraded them. I think the facility opened in 2015, so it's still pretty new. They're top notch, and there's a video of him touring it on late Saturday night. He's blown away by what they have here, especially compared to Jackson State. So I've talked to so many people that have gone around the country to different places. They say Colorado's facilities are second to none. So I don't think facilities are an issue at all. There's some upgrades they need to make, like every school probably does. But as far as the training facilities, locker room, all that stuff, they're in pretty good shape.
Brian, you no longer have days off. You don't have days off. You've now become a beat writer to cover the Dallas Cowboys in a way as college football and the version of Deion Sanders in your backyard. Will you go watch them in their next playoff game?
Again, and the Celebration Bowl?
Yeah. Will you go the bowl game? Will you go cover that?
As of right now, there's no plans to, but things could change.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool to go out and just see him coach one game and kind of get a feel for the atmosphere. If there was a way to be around the program, but as of right now, there's no plans to do that. And about 4 or 5 days after that is signing day, so we'll at least see him there. And it'll be interesting. You're right. I mean, no days off, and at least the one thing with Deion is his team puts social media out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You probably don't even need access to them to be able to write stories because they're going to give you news every single day on their social media.
Good luck, Brian. Thank you very much. It's great for you because it will be every day. Thank you for your time, Brian Howell, with the Buff Zone, covers Colorado and the Deion Sanders story that he was introduced.